Welcome, my name is Nick and this is Nick's Fort. Today I'm going to share with you guys my best practices for exporting video at a professional level. I use this when I export my videos for my clients, but it can also be used for personal projects. There's a lot of good information in there for everyone. I'm going to do this on Premiere Pro, but I think that you could apply these practices to other editing softwares also. And just so you know, this is going to be kind of a merger of like the tech and also sort of a client management element of exporting videos. So it's not just going to be a techie thing. And the real value for I think anyone who's doing this professionally is going to be the other side when we're talking about expectations, round of revisions, all these little tools for exporting when you're working with clients on a professional level. If you guys are new here, you can subscribe below. I would dig that. And yeah, let's get into Premiere Pro and do it. So we're in our project here in Premiere Pro. We have our in point set and our out point set. And I'm going to go up to File, Export. No, I'm not gonna do this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down to my timeline on my sequence here. I'm gonna hit Control M. In here, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna look at our preset. So I have 5 presets that I've built for exports. We're gonna dig into this one, the Client 1080p Review preset. So once I click that, you're gonna see some changes that have been made to my video over here. We're gonna talk about those changes last. So I'm actually going to toggle those off for now. And then first, we're gonna look at our video settings. We have our 1080 timeline, which is what this video is gonna be exported at, so 1080. And we have our square pixels. You wanna do a frame rate that is the frame rate in which your footage was filmed. This was filmed in 23:976, so that's appropriate. And then based on where you live in the world, you're gonna wanna select the correct TV standard if that's appropriate. So I live in the United States, NTSC is my standard, so I'm gonna have that selected. This is basically where we're gonna be at. I'm not gonna do render at max bit. In the encoding settings, if you have a newer computer, you can do the hardware encoding. And if you do have that, if that's available, do it. It's super fast. My computer's too old, so I don't get that thing. But if you can do it, it's gonna be awesome. Profile, you wanna put that on high and then 4.2 for your level for exporting, for encoding. Down here, we have the bitrate settings. Inside of here, you have a constant bitrate. With constant bitrate, you are most often going to get a faster export, but you risk some of your footage looking less than ideal. With variable bitrate, the export's gonna take longer, but it uses more of the available space. It uses it more efficiently and it produces a better image, a better overall quality, a better file. And then VBR2 pass is generally going to yield the best video quality, but it's also going to take the longest when you export it. So depending on how much time you have is really going to be the biggest influencer on which one of these you end up using. And you can see with the constant bitrate, there is just one bitrate versus the variable. You're going to have a max and then you're going to have a target. And actually, if you look at this little chart that I put up over here, you can see the range. So we're in 1080. So the range is 10 to 20. So what I do for that is I'm going to set my target bitrate to 10, especially since this is kind of for a review. I want it to look good, but you know, target bitrate at 10 is going to look the best it can in that range. And then the max being 20. You could adjust that. So if you wanted to be a little bit better quality, you could slide that up and you know, keep your max at 20, but you know, get your target up a little bit higher. We're gonna keep that at 10 though for now. And then in audio, these are the settings. I'm not gonna dive into them. Look at them, check them out. This is where the audio is gonna land, and this is, I would say, pretty standard in terms of the quality. It's not gonna degrade the quality, and you're not gonna save a ton of time or size on your file, especially if it's a shorter video with adjusting this stuff. Over here in Publish, this is a really cool feature. So let's say I'm making a video from a YouTube channel. I can go ahead and click this, and then all of a sudden, now I'm signed in as Nick's Fort. My channel is here, all my playlists are here. I can title my video, I can write a description, I can decide if I want it to be private or unlisted, I can put tags in, I can do a custom thumbnail, I can do all this stuff. And then when I click export, it's actually gonna go ahead and do that. It's going to upload it to my channel without me doing anything. It's going to save a step. It's awesome. You can do it for Vimeo and Twitter and Facebook and all these other things. So this is a powerful element that I think a lot of people don't use. I'm starting to use this more often now. It's pretty awesome. So you can make a preset that's like your YouTube final post preset, and you can have this checked and you can save that. Now we're looking in the effects tab. This is really where we're going to start to dig into the client side of stuff. The very first thing we're going to look at here is the image overlay. So if I toggle this on, you can see my watermark up in the corner. You want to watermark all of your work that's not final. And the reason you want to do this is because if you have a client that decides that they don't want to pay you, then they can't use that footage if there's a watermark on it without it being blatantly obvious that they didn't finish this project with you. So you can go over here and you can choose a watermark that you want. Let's say we chose that one, right? And then I'm gonna pop that in there, and then I'm gonna put it in the center, and I'm gonna make it super big. And then I'm gonna make the opacity like 50 because I want it to be really obvious that this is my video. I would not recommend that. But in my preset, you saw earlier, it was nice and small, but it was there. You could even do like something super subtle like this in the center, and that's gonna really claim the property of this whole thing. Even if it was even something like that, it's still there. You know, I'm still seeing this here, and it's still, I wouldn't be stoked on that if I was a client and I was trying to steal your video. You can move it around, which is cool. So you can slide it, you know, you can offset it. So there's a lot of opportunity to really play with your settings here. Let's leave that in the middle for now. And actually, if you want to save yourself the time that it takes to create these presets, I've already made them. And I put them into a preset pack that I've linked below. It is $5, which shouldn't be too much money for the amount of time that it'll take you to create these. Plus, if you buy those, then you're helping support me and the time it takes for me to create these videos. So if you want to do that, the link is below. And now the next one we have here is their name overlay. Down in the corner, you can see video name round number. So what did we decide this was going to be called? We decided it's going to be called Zombie Reggie round 2. So Zombie Reggie round 2. So now Zombie Reggie round 2 is down here in the video, and that's going to be baked into the video also. So when you play the video, it's going to show up. And then again, you can move this around wherever you want it to be. Let's put it in the center, right? So it's right in the middle. And then the next one is going to be our time code, and it's very similar, right? So you can adjust the size of it, you can move it around, and you can, let's put that in the center too. And then let's actually slide it down so it's right below the round 2. So now you have your time code on your video, and the benefit of this is that your client can now reference this. So let's say down here, we move back in the video and we're on this frame, right? And maybe the client says, I don't like that this frame has, you know, this pole, this light pole in it. Can we zoom in a little bit? And then they say it's at 4 seconds. And they know that because the time code's right here, versus they say, oh, we want to zoom in past the pole. And, you know, that could be this shot and they could be talking about this pole. I don't know. But if you have the time code in there, you can be very clear about what needs to be changed at what frame. And it's pretty awesome because then they can just reference it. The time code thing is a lifesaver for notes for clients. And I know there are programs out there that have built-in, I think Vimeo has one that has a built-in notes, and you can put notes specifically where the time lands. But if you don't want to pay for that, this is a great way to do it. And it's awesome, and it's free because it's built into the exporting settings. So the last thing we're gonna look at here is we've made these adjustments. Now we're gonna go up to this and we're gonna hit save preset. We're gonna call this one YouTube post final. And we're gonna save publish settings, because if you remember, we went to publish and we saved and we put that YouTube in there. So now that's gonna show up here. If we go over here, you're gonna see that this is checked and you have these parameters that we set. So then if I go to export my file, let's say I'm here and I show up and I go, oh, YouTube post final, I'm ready to go. It's going to export this whole thing. It's going to upload to my YouTube, and it's, you know, we're ready to go. All you have to do now is hit export, which I'm not going to do because I don't want this on my YouTube channel. With this information, you should be able to build out your own presets for your own needs. If you don't want to take the time to do that, as I mentioned earlier, I have built my presets and they're available on my website, which is linked below. If you found this helpful, please share it with someone else who would find it helpful. Click that thumbs up, drop a comment, subscribe, notifications, all that. But most importantly, get out there and film some stuff, create some stuff, and put this into practice so you can just keep getting better. Peace.